Welcome to the creative phase of the Maya series course. Earlier we were able to make our curves. From there we transform our curves into an NURBS surface. In this class we're going to convert this to polygons, whereby we are going to put up with the final determinants of our curve. So let's dive straight into it. Okay, so basically we are going to create another layer and we'll call it, let's say, polygon surface. Okay, as it's our tradition, and please just make sure that you don't leave any space, because if you do there'll be a pop-up or a warning. Okay, so let's dive straight into it. I'll begin by converting this to surface to a polygon. So we're going to do this for this and all, okay, all. So let's begin from here. So first thing before we start, for some it's a culture to rebuild this, whereby they'll go to surfaces, go to rebuild. Okay, now when rebuilding, if you want to keep with the default number of spans here, and spans the UNV, go to your attribute editor. Here you will see the distribution 16.5. Okay, so we are having 16.5 here. So if I put in that value here and my uniform is checked, when I hit apply, it's going to evenly distribute the spans for me. So some people prefer rebuilding first before converting to a polygon, but for me I think it's important. But of course at times you could just go ahead to rebuild, modify and convert. So let's see which one works for us. Okay, so for this surface I'm going to convert to a polygon. So I'll go to my modify, convert. I'll click this first. For this to work perfectly, you would want to use quads and then general. The idea is that I want to mimic, putting in my U and V. Now the rule here is, unlike when you are converting, when you are rebuilding, let me bring that up. When you are rebuilding, you might want to say, okay, I'll put in same value here, 16.5, 16.5. All right, but the way this works, let's come here, modify, convert, NURBS-to-polygon. Let's bring this here. Okay, so I'll hit my quads, hit my general. Now this is what I'll be using throughout this course, so I'm going to save it so that next time when I come here, it's going to just assume the settings. So I'll hit edit and save settings. Okay, so I have overwritten the default. So looking at this now, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So I want to maintain the 6. Okay, now if I decide to put in same value from here, saying 16.5, and I hit apply, and let's say I put this here, polygon surface, right click and add selected, W. I will just move this to the side like so. I will repeat this again for another. Click this. Now I'm going to add one more value across 17.6. Hit apply. Keep this here. Add selected. Okay. So now we have this. Maybe I should. Sorry. Maybe I should push this somewhere here. Okay. So I have this and this. Okay, so if you look at this carefully, this particular one that I use the same distribution, which is from my attribute editor 16.5. okay, this which was the actual one, when I use 16.5 here, it gave me -1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 against the regular, which is 6. But when I increase this by 1, okay, it gave me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this here gave me the exact distribution on this NURBS surface. So what am I trying to say in essence? Very simple. All I'm trying to say in essence is that when you click a NURBS surface and you're okay with the distribution and you want to have the exact distribution on your polygon surface, increase your spans value, which is what you're having here, each by 1. Okay, so let's see how that works. So what I will do is I'll go to my create, I'll go to modify, I'll go to convert. I'll keep this somewhere here, hence. So 16.5, that will be 76. I'll hit apply and keep this here. Okay, add selected. Then we have this now. Okay, so we have 2 ways to work with this. You could decide to go to faces, highlight everything, hit your extrude, maybe go down like this. Okay, and okay, object mode, mesh display, reverse. You might be okay with this. What this does is that you're going to be having, the extrusion as a bulk phenomenon. But for me, I prefer to just extrude the edges because that's what I need. Okay, so what I just want to do is I prefer to, let me undo. Okay, I prefer to go to my edge mode instead. Something's wrong somewhere. Fine. Go to my edge mode instead, double click this, hit, go to my extrude and maybe extrude down like this. If you get the idea. I prefer working like this, so when I pan, you can see it's only the edges that was extruded. So for me, this gives me a better leverage, though it's up to you. So we can go to hit R3 and 2. Okay, so that we can make sure this gives us what we want. So all I need to do is to add my edge loops. So I'll hold down my shift and right mouse button, go to insert edge loop. I'll add one here. Okay, I'll add maybe, let's see, maybe one here too. Let's see, add one here too. I'll add one here too. Okay, so I think at this point I would come here to add one here. Does that make sense? Come here to add one here. It's up to you. You can make it as close as you want. So I think I'm okay with this shape that I'm having. Hit my 3. Then when you're done, okay, hit your W. Okay, so once your W is hit, you've gone out of your edge loop. At first you were in your edge loop 2. So if you keep clicking and clicking and clicking, you keep adding edge loop again and again. All right, so I think I'm okay with what I have here, and I could just okay, we could add more topology to this, but I think we should work with this for now, just for now. Okay, so I'll just work with this for now. All right, I'll work with this for now. I think I'll need to still retouch this, but let's just move on. Okay, so I'll come here, hit this, then looking at this, we're having 4.4, so I'll increase it to 5.5 to maintain. Then apply. Okay, then come here, add selected, then let's continue from where we stopped. Okay, so you have options here. You can decide to clean this up by going to your vertex. Whenever you're doing this part, make sure your two settings, you as this orientation is set to normal, so that you can just push this in like so. I think I'll add more edge loops later on. Okay, so let's see, I'll go back to my object mode, hit my Ctrl 1, Okay, so go to my edges. I might need to add some edge loops, like I think I might need one here. Okay, so you can do this if you want manually. Okay, that is cool. Then I'll double click, sorry, when I'm done, hit my W, go to object mode, hit my W. Okay, then make sure when you hit your W, nothing will show, because normal, okay, as its orientation to normal only works with vertices. It does not work with at object mode or edges or faces. Okay, if you observe, if I go to my vertex and I highlight one, this will show. Okay, so I think I might need one more edge loop somewhere here. So when I'm done, object mode, okay, hit my W and convert this to, I'm going to use world or object. Let's use word for now. Okay, back to my, you can hit your 3 to see what you've done. Okay, but back to 1, I will just go to my edges, double click this here. You got to be careful here, because if you do it in the wrong direction, take for instance, if I extrude downwards, that will not make a lot of sense. So this direction will do me more good. So I can check, and I think I would use this. Okay, so if you hit your 3, you're going to be having this. So hit your 2. I think the other time I was too close, because I would want those corners to show. So W, I would go to my insert edge loops, add one here, add one here, yeah, something like that. Add one here, it must not be so close. Add one here. Okay, and I think with that I'm good to go. Let's see if I need to add anyone here. I think I'm good to go. If I need to add more, I will add. So 3. Okay, 3, hit your W, very important. Then back to object mode. Yeah, I think this is cool. Then Control 1 to see how this looks with this surface. So I think I have a better surface here. Just that some things are, something's wrong here. So I could just go to my vertices and click this. Make sure at this point when moving, your vertex like this, it should be normal, so that you could just push like this. Okay, so I think for that we can just say we're done with that for now. Okay, we will still come in and do more detailing there. All right, so let's move on. Okay, so I would uncheck this. I think we could build this now, but to be on the safer side, I think we should just be careful. Let's build the surface first. Okay, I think let's build the surface, and from there things should begin to make sense. So go to my attribute editor. It's 9.7, so if I want to maintain, I will use 10.8. Okay, hope you get the idea now. 10.8, and I will apply and keep this in my add selected. So come back here and I begin to do what I need to do. Okay, so I think for this it's fine like this. I will just hit Ctrl 1 and begin to edit. Go to my edges, okay, double click to extrude. I think this should work this way, down. Hit my 3, because it's too round. So go to my 2, shift right click and go to edge loops. I will add one here. Okay, I think that should work just fine. Add one here too. Add one here too. Okay, then come down to this point. I think I'll need one here too. Could go around to check. I think for now this is fine. We could always come in and correct these things if we feel there's something more that should be done. 3. Okay, hit my W and I'm off it. Just a Ctrl 1 and I think this is not bad. Okay, you can see we might need to do some corrections like so. So I don't know whether we're going to do it from here, but I'm not so okay with what we did here actually. I feel let me see 3. I would come to my edges and maybe double click this and delete, if that will work. 1. I will want to, okay, that will not work. That's okay, let's just leave that 3. And I will just, for this I would go to my vertices and begin to move this into place. Maybe highlight this like so and push them in the direction of the normals. It depends. Okay, maybe click this. Of course, this will be covered up later on, so we might not have to pay much reference to all of this later, but I prefer cleaning them up now. Okay, then I don't know. I think something's going on there. Okay, let's just leave it for now as it is. We will do the cleanups later. Okay, many a times you might have to be more intentional and okay, let's just leave that for now. Our goal for now is to make sure we convert all of them to a great polygon surface. So let's get that off. Let's see, so let's work with here. For a surface like this, I might want to rebuild if I like, but let's see if I don't rebuild whether I will have issues. So I'm having 10, 1. I think that is too high. 10 and 1. I think that's too high. Let's work with 5, 5. Let's see. Apply. So it means it's not every time you have to follow their rules. There are times that you can just play around with what you have. Okay, so with this I'm going to, and another thing is I can still add my edge loop manually, right? So it's not compulsory I must get it at this point yet. Is that fine? Okay, so let's move on. So I'll hit my 3 and this surface is kind of not like it yet, but let's get done with what we need to do first with this before. So go to our edges, double click this and extrude. So I think I'm extruding downwards like this. This should work for me. I hit, go to object mode, hit my 3, hit my 2 actually, then let's insert our edge loops. Okay, I think I'm having an issue there. Alright, okay, so I think it's okay, it's already applied, so I could just add some detailing so that this could be as close as possible. Okay, do I need to add anyone here? Maybe, maybe not. Okay, so I think this is a point, so we could just leave that to be. I think we're good. We're good actually. Okay, so let's see this. So hit W. So here, Ctrl 1. So let's see how this looks in respect to this. We would still do some cleanups later. Okay, we will still have to do some cleanups later, but let's just keep converting. Alright, let's keep converting. So I'll click this and now we are off to, let's see what we have first. We have this already. Okay, so the next thing is this place here and here. Okay, according to what I have in mind, or let's say when you are converting, one point to notice, you should ask yourself that what are the pieces that should be worn. Okay, the pieces that should be worn has to be welded. And if they will be welded, then you might have to make sure that you know, they have points like this that runs through that you can later on just target weld them. We're going to do that now, and you'll see how it works in real time. Before we move on, okay, I think I'm good. So I'm going to convert this nests. I'll come here. I would, let me see, I'm having 8.6, so that'll be 9.7. If I want to maintain that, 9 and 7, apply. Okay, then come here, go to polygon surface, add selected. All right, so now I'm having this. For this part, we have to be very careful. Okay, so I'm going to convert this to nest so that I'll be sure what I'm doing. Here I'm having 15.13, that'll be 16.4, 16.4, apply. Okay, then keep this to here, as selected. Fine, good. Now, why I said we have to put that into perspective, because we'll not go ahead to maybe extrude this downwards and extrude this downwards and then begin to weld later. No, we're going to do that immediately. So I'm going to look at these two polygons and see how I can combine them into one. Don't think I'm going to just click this and go to Modeling Toolkit and combine. That's not what I'm going to do yet, though I will need that to weld this perfectly. Okay, so what I want to do is this will be connected to this. Make sure they're running well. If they're not running the way it should, then you have to add your edge loops. So this is okay. I'll weld this, I will weld this, I will weld this, I will weld this, weld this, weld this, weld this. I think then weld this too. So I think this is perfect. This is exactly what I need. So next thing I'm going to do is I will need let me hit Ctrl-1. I will need this edge here to shift back a bit so that I'll be sure what I'm welding. So Ctrl-1, I would come here and maybe keep this down here first. Right click. All right, go to edges, click, click, click. Okay, just click this, hit W. My pivot is not showing because it's on normal, and don't forget, normal only works for vertex. So I'll go back to object mode and push this a bit backward, just like so. Okay, so now that I've done that, Ctrl-1 again. Okay, now I need that space actually, so I'm going to hit this and combine. Why am I combining? I'm combining because when I click now, I can see both of their, I can see both of their sub objects ranging from edges, vertex, and faces. So I'll go to my vertex. Okay, I'll go to, let's say, I'll go to target weld. I think this preset should work just fine. Target weld. And I will scroll inside, zoom in. I don't need to zoom, but just for explanation's sake, all you need to do is drag using your middle mouse button, drag from here off to here. It's welded. Now this is working fine because I have looked at my distribution and it works. Okay, if it didn't work, let me just finish this first and I'll show you something, just in case your distribution does not make sense. That's a way to go about it. Middle mouse button drag. I can Ctrl-1, sorry, go to my object mode, Ctrl-1, okay, then back to vertex and drag this. Okay, so back to what I was saying then. Ctrl-1, if you're having an issue where, let's say, this is not running well, all you need to do is let me undo this and see if I can just explain something. Let's see. Okay, so let me do something. Let me explain some things here. So let's say this is not lining up with this. You have options. Okay, you can go to your mesh tools there's a tool I'm looking for, I think slide edge tool. Let's see if that should work here. Click this, then let's go to mesh tools again. I think that should be slide edge, except I'm missing it up. Okay, give me a second. Yeah, it worked. So I'm supposed to just drag with my middle mouse button. You can see how it's sliding, right? I can slide it up. So it's sliding, right? So I can do that until it matches to the position that I want. The secondly, I can go on to add more edge loops. If I take, for instance, let's say after this edges, it's this, and I need one here. Go to your insert edge loop. Okay, and you can just add one here, and you're good to go. So whichever way is fine. Okay, is that all right? So I'll just move on and finish up with this mesh display. Okay, was that okay? Target world. Make sure I'm in my vertex mode and middle mouse button. Don't forget, I use my middle mouse button to slide, just in case I did not explain that. Okay, then fine. Okay, so this is what I'm having now. So it's 1, Control 1, and so with this now, when I hit, okay, there's still something I have to play with there. Okay, I would correct that later, but let's hit a 3. Okay, not bad, but we can still do something more like it. Okay, so for me, at this point, I'd like to be more intentional. I'll go to my vertex and begin to maybe double click this and go to my, let's say, normal, and maybe drag this in depending on what I want. I might add more edges if I want to be more detailed enough. Maybe go to my edges. Alright, go to my edges, and okay, let's just leave this for now. Okay, we'll correct some of these errors later on. Is that fine? Let's leave this for now. Okay, though what I can do here is maybe to click this, go to my go to vertex, let's see, highlight it like so, and make sure you are in your normal, and you can push this in to snap. Okay, then I can now click this. Okay, then edges, select, and make sure you close up this like so. I can probably, add an edge loop somewhere here. Okay, give me a second, please. Hit my 1. Okay, add an edge loop somewhere. Add an edge loop. I think something's happening somewhere. Go to edges. Okay, so add it somewhere here. Okay, when I'm back, so with this now, when I'm back to object mode and I click 3, I think that should give me what I'm looking for. So yeah, so hope you get the idea. So at times a lot of cleanups will occur. I can go on to do some things here and make sure everything is up and running. Hit W, make sure everything is up and running, and vertex. I need to do the same here. Just click, make sure it's in place. Click, make sure it's in place. Go up here, click, make sure it's in place. Click, okay, sorry, highlight. Alright, so make sure this is in place too. Wherever you need to add edge loops, you can do that to make sure everything is all good. For this part, I don't know if I will need an edge loop. It just depends on you. Okay, it depends. You keep editing until you have what you feel you want. All right. Okay, like here, I could just right click. First of all, go to my edges. Right click, go to edge loop. Maybe add one more here. add one somewhere here. Okay, hit my W, go to my vertex and maybe highlight and push this in. So there's no one way to this, just clean up what you have and make sure it's running well. So next thing is so now that we have connected this, I'm going to be using the edges. Go to my edges, then double click. So if you observe now, it's now going to extrude at once. So I shouldn't have thought of maybe extruding this and doing this and then welding. That will give me more issues or problems. So I will hit my extrude. I gotta be careful here because sometimes this might not work the way I expect, but I think this gave me what I'm looking for. Okay, this gave me what I'm looking for. So I think this is cool. Go to objects, then can take my topology. Something's happened to it. No problem, we will look into that later on. Okay, so with this I could just hit 2 and close some of those issues I might be having. Add one here like this, add another one here like this. I think I should add one here like this. I don't know. Okay, I think I will have to do some things here. Zoom in a bit. Add one here. Am I good? I think there's an irregularity somewhere here. Okay, but I think I'm good with this. Maybe add one here. Add one to here. Okay, hit W. Then object mode, Control 1, and make sure you're hitting it through. So this is what I have. Okay, so I might have to still go in and clean up some things here, but that's just how you go about, putting in details. So let's continue with our conversions. Okay. All right, so let's come here. We're going to do this. So bring this up. From our attribute editor, we have 7.4, so that will be 8.5. 8.5. Okay, make sure you're in your quotes, general, and the rule still remains. You're going to be adding 1 to each of this. So 7 plus 1, 8, 4 plus 1, 5. Hit apply, come here and add selected. Okay, so let's finish up with that now. So I think this snapped well with this. You could decide to just correct some things and make sure you're in your normals and just push this in a bit. It all depends on you though. I'm going to clean up something here later. Okay, so just make sure everything is well lined up, and of course I can always come in and put in more details there. Okay, I might just add, okay, go to my edges and add an edge loop here. Okay, and go to my vertex, click this and bring it down like so, and maybe outside and up. So hope you get the idea. Okay, so I think with this, let's just move on to Control 1. Okay. All right, so what we'll do next is we'll go to our edges. Make sure you're off this, double click this, hit our extrude. Gotta be careful here, just extrude this in like so. I think this is cool. Hit my 3 and 2 to make sure everything is lined up well. Insert edges. I'll keep one here. Maybe keep one. Okay, I think I know where my mistakes are coming from now. Okay, keep one somewhere here. Okay, gotta be careful. Keep one here. Keep one here. I think that should give me what I'm looking for. Okay, so object mode, make sure you've hit your 3, then control 1, and you're going to be having that there. So basically that is what it's all about. So we move on to the next. The next stage is we're going to do this part here. Okay, give me a second please. Okay, so let's move on. So I'll click this. I'd love to maintain, this distribution. So I'll just come to my attribute editor, 725. Let's see if that would 725. That is 826. For this part, I got to be careful. At times, you don't want to have so many of these distributions like this. But for this, I'll keep it at 8. Okay, 25, and add selected, and it's going there. And so I think this is fine. Okay, this is cool. So what I'll do next is just simple. I would you can see some errors there. We have to fix that up later, but let's just move on. I think I'm being too precise. Now you're talking. Okay, yeah. I didn't hit my 3 actually. So control 1, edges, just double click. Okay, click this and pull this in like so. Okay, and hit my 2 and go to my edge loop. Inside edge loop, I will need one here like this. I'll need one here like this. Okay, I will need to do something here. One should be here. Okay, I think that should do. Let's see, to be certain. And do I need one here? I think I need 2. I'm not sure anyways, but let's have one here. Let's have one here. So at times, adding too much of edge loops might do you more harm, but let's see what we've got now. Okay, so W. Okay, yeah, so that's not bad. So I'm having this basically. So it's coming back to life. Okay, so I turned on my grid. So let's move on to the next thing. Alright. Okay, so this is not added to the polygon surface groups here, so layer yet. So let's just right click, add selected. Alright. So let's move on. What next? Okay, we should move on to design this part. That should be this part here. So let's see. For this, I might want to rebuild, I might not want to rebuild, depending, but let's rebuild this instead. Rebuild. To rebuild this, I'm going to use, okay, for rebuilding, you can use the actual value here, but for conversion, we'll add one more. If I want to, that is if I want to keep the division. So I'm having 13.3. I'm just imagining where the 13 is coming from. 13.3. Interesting. Let me just do. Let me try something like this. 7.5. Okay. Maybe I should just go ahead to convert. I'll go to my modify, convert NURBS-to-polygon, and let's say I decide to use, in as much it's 13.3. For me, that is too high. Let me use 10. I got to be careful here because, okay, I don't think I'm welding. Okay, I don't think I'm welding this. Am I? I think I might weld this too. Let's just keep more than anyways. Okay, 10, that's a 5. That's okay. Sorry, 5. Let's hit apply. Let me reduce this a bit. Let me say 6 and 3. I don't just like the way it's distributed. Okay, let's stick with 10 and 5 then. apply. Okay, because let's try something way small. 4, okay, let's say 5, and maybe a 3. Apply. Sorry, don't do that. Let's apply this. Okay, let me just work with this and see. I think this is okay. You will see why I'm trying to reduce the number. When we are dragging in, these vertices to make sure it aligns to others, having so many divisions might, make us do times 2 of the work. So I prefer to have less. Now I prefer to have less. Then at this stage, I can now add my edge loop if there's need. Hope you get the idea. So with this now, I might need to, let's hit a 3. Okay, I might need to, just go to vertices and do some cleanups there. Push it in. Okay, I think I'll need more. Okay, you gotta be careful here. I will need edge loops here. Actually, I'll need edge loops here. Maybe I'll need one to run in. Let's just go to edges. Insert edge loops, I'll need one here. Be somewhere here. Why did I do that? Let me explain. So that if I'm pulling this in now, sorry, hit my W. Okay, so that edges, if I'm pulling this in, hope you now get the idea. You see the importance now, right? Having those many. Okay, what is the problem here? Vertex is what I want to control. I'm sorry. So I can just pull this in, make sure it's lining up correctly. Don't forget, I'm in my normal, very, very important for this to work accurately. Okay, all right. Then for this part, I might need to have more edge loops. Okay, let's go to edges. Inside edge loop, I'll need one here. Maybe I'll need one here. Maybe one here too. Okay. Let's see. Go to vertex. Go to 1. Okay, and vertex. Okay, something's up. Okay, W. Yeah, you have to make sure you are off your edge loops. Click and drag this to fit. Okay, for this part, I might want to drag this in. Maybe drag this. Let's do that again. Object mode, vertex. Then let's say I decide to pull this in. Okay, better off. Maybe pull this. Let's just leave it the way it is for now. Okay, then maybe pull this in a bit. Hope you now get the idea. Play around with this a bit to be higher and okay. Then maybe I'll have to correct some things here too. So I can pull this in. I'll need one here to something to run through here. So that is how you. So I prefer adding edge loops now at this level because I need them. Okay, I need edge loops now at this stage. But earlier, I could have added edges at points where I don't need them. But right now, I need one here. Okay, and I might need one here too. So hit my W, then go to my vertexes. So with this now, I can drag this and bring it to perspective. Maybe take this in, take this in, take this in. You can orbit to be sure what you're doing. So the idea now is that it's dragging in the direction of the normals. Okay, I can even take this in more to be sure that I'm where I'm supposed to be. I think with this I can move on to the next stage. So object mode, Control 1, go to my edges, hit 1, okay, and double click this. We're going to extrude this now. So let's see. Am I okay with what I want? What I have rather. Okay, so hit my 2, and I'll begin to add edge loops so that it can maintain the details to where it's supposed to. Okay, other one here. I think I'll need, let's added one here. I'll need one to travel like this. Okay, I need one to travel like this too. Let's look at this carefully again. I'll need one to travel like this. Sorry. I'll need one here. I'll need another one here. Okay, then I'll need one here. Okay, I'll need one somewhere, I think here too. So let's see, I think this is cool. 3. Okay, let's see. Okay, we could still clean up, what we have there, but so that's just what we've got there. So let's move on. Okay, so convert NURBS, let's keep this down here. Let's see, the next thing is, so what it means is that we are done with here. Let's convert this. So for this, I would want to rebuild. I think I should rebuild this time. The surfaces, rebuild. First, I would rebuild before converting. Rebuild. I'll come here, it's 1715, so I'll keep it at 17 and apply. Okay, not bad. Then go to my modify, convert NURBS-to-polygon. So at this point, I'm going to be having let's see, we're having 1715. So if I want to maintain it, let's just use 1715. Let's see if we gotta be careful. I don't think I need all those big numbers. Let's stick with 10, maybe 6. I think I prefer this. Okay, I always love having it reduced at selected, so that when I begin to add detailings, I can then manually add my edge loops. Okay, so that's just my approach. So everyone have his own approach of editing. So let's close up this spaces here. So I'll just highlight this and push this in. Okay, for here I might just have to go to my edges, add, insert edge loops. I'll need one here, maybe one here. Okay, I might need one here too. I don't know, one here. Okay, so I think that should be it. Okay, I might need one here too, and here. So let's go to, W, go to my vertex, and let's begin to get this sorted. Very careful. Okay, for this I could just line it up, push this down. So I think bring this out. Maybe this can just make sure it's there. So with this, I think I'm good to go. So I'll hit this Control 1 and go to our edges, double click and extrude. So I think pulling this in this direction should do. Hit 3 and 2. Insert edge loops, and I'll begin to detail them. Something here. Okay, I would. Let's see. I think something here too, something here too. It all depends on you anyways, but Okay, so let's see something here. Okay, I think this is perfect enough. I can always add more later on if there's need. W and Control 1. Okay, so hope you get the idea now, right? So we have this. So let's move on. Okay, let's move on. So next we have we've done with here. We have this part. So do I need to rebuild? I don't think so. So I'll just go to bring this up. 1213. Oops, 1213. That is high anyways, but no problem. Let's just maintain the value. 1213. Apply. That is way too high. Of course, I'll not work with that. 1213. So I'll use 75 and manually add wherever I need. So add selected, and yeah. So for this, I'm going to be very careful here. Go to my vertex. I think this is well lined up if I'm correct, but just should be setting. I think this is cool. I think I can continue with this actually. Okay, so Control 1. We'll do the same thing. Edges. Click. We'll take this in. 2. Edge loops. You should be used to what we're doing already. Maybe closer. Okay, so I might need one here. I don't know. Okay, so I might have to add one here. Okay, so I think that's cool. It's good enough. For this part, I might need one. I don't know. Maybe something here to make sure. That's something you should take note of. This edge is here. If you want it to be that fine the way it should, add more edge loops. Okay, so W to get it off. 3. Control 1. So yeah, you can see the details there. That is the idea. That detailing is there. So with this, we can always come here and extrude and do something more depending. Is that fine? So let's move on. So we have we're done it here. Let's see. Okay. So let's take this a step further. Let's get here done. I will want here to be a separate piece, right? I think I'm welding here and here, so I have to take note of that. I'm welding here and here too. I'll take note of that. Then the rest should be separate piece. Here over 1, here over 1. So I think here will be a separate piece. So I'll just check. This is 19.1. Okay. Will I want it to be that heavy? Before I continue, instead of making here now, I would love to get here sorted out first. Okay, get here sorted out, then let's see. So I'm going to, I think I'm okay with this. So I'll just come to my attribute editor. 10.8. Okay, let's just 10.8. That'll be giving us 11.9. Okay, then we'll add that here, add selected, and come there. So for this now, I've not added that detail that should be here yet. Okay, but I think I can play around with it. So what I'll just do, I think this base is enough, so we just move straight into extruding edges. This can go in like so. Okay, let me repeat that. Go in 3 and 2. Inside edge loops. Okay, other one across here, other one here, other one this way. We add one more here. I think we're good. So object 3, then okay, then control 1, and we have a surface there. Okay, we have a surface there. So we can move on to the next, which is this surface here. Okay, so these are so many subdivisions, and I don't know. Okay, let's say we're going to, okay, let's just move on. So we are having 716. That is so high. So I'll just do highest, 7.5. Okay, then polygon surface, right? Polygon surface as selected, and I will just finish it up there. For this, I don't know if I will need to do some draggings up and down vertex. I don't know if I have to, but just need just to be on the safer side. Vertex, just drag this in a bit. Okay, so before I might be an issue with this anyways. Probably I made an error, but let's just continue. The goal is for you to get the idea of converting all of this. So control 1, go to my edges, double click this, control, okay, extrude in, maybe like this. Okay, hit my 3, 2, sorry, go to my insert edge loops. Okay, just one should be here, one should be here, one should be here. Okay, for this top part, I think I will need one here. I think that should do, basically. That should do. Okay, then 3, sorry, W. Okay, let me undo that. Okay, then W, hit my 3, then control 1. Okay, so I might have to clean up some things here later on. I think I might run into an issue here later actually, because I'm supposed to be having something in here, but let's see. Let's do that immediately. Let's see what we can do. Okay, there's something here. Okay, give me a second. Okay, seems I'm having some issues here. It's not selecting, so I will save and I'll put off my Maya and put it back on. Okay. All right, so I'm back. Yeah, sometimes you got to make sure you're saving your files, because at times when such happens, you might not be able to save, like in a case where your software freezes or something. So let's move on. So this is what we have done thus far. We want to add this detailing here, and the ones we are having here, and the ones we are having here. Okay, so let's see how that can be bettered. For this here, create, sorry, or modify, convert. I'll get this here and keep it down here. Here I'm having 119. Okay, I think that is cool, but now it's 119. This is one of the times that you don't want to have many lines. At first, I would love to add them manually if I need them. So I will maintain the 1, maybe do like an 8 instead. Okay, so come here, add selected. Is that fine?